I had a fair amount of environmental guilt when I used to drive my kids around in the car going nowhere, just because that was the only way to get them to fall asleep. Just driving around the car.
Been there.
Did you feel guilty? I felt guilty.
I never did because sometimes I just like to go for a drive, and I just figured I'm just going for a drive, looking at the scenery, and yes, my kid is asleep, and I'm happy.
Well, now you don't have to go for it. Now you don't get to go for that drive.
Okay.
Now I don't have to have the guilt. Well, my kids don't fall asleep in the car anymore. Anyway, there is technology to solve this problem. It's a smart bed from Ford that simulates the feel and the sound of the car. It looks like a bassinet. It contains an LED light to make it look like you're passing street lights. Sadly, Ford Max Moto Dreams is only a prototype right now. I think it should be real, especially because hybrid and electric cars, they're so darn quiet. Who can sleep with all that lack of noise?
I love the attention to detail that they're like, well, you're probably trying to get your kid to sleep at night, and there are lights flashing by the windows, and we factored that. That's just not a detail I would have thought of.
Yeah.
But I never did this at night. Like, I always did it during the day. Oh. I don't know. Like, we never went out for a drive with a kid at night, but I can understand why you would need to. Some kids, you just can't get them to sleep.
So maybe you didn't feel guilty because it wasn't like you did it every single day for like a half an hour to 2 hours.
Didn't have that experience. Definitely did it, though. Yeah. This is cool. I mean, it's probably super expensive. The only thing I could find to compare it to is a product called Snoo at happiestbaby.com. And it's a smart crib or whatever you want to call it. Very similar actually in design. It doesn't have, and a very cheesy promotional video, by the way, but it doesn't have the kind of like car motion aspect. It just more like kind of gently shakes the baby in the bassinet. Gently. I put the word gently in there. Okay, that's really important when you say the words "shake the baby," and it kind of does the same thing. This thing costs $1,160. So I imagine Ford's is probably pretty expensive.
I guess so. But this one shakes the baby when the baby is shaking.
Gently
shakes the baby. Gently shakes the baby when the baby needs gentle shaking.
Right.
So it's like smart. It's like you don't need to pay attention to your kid anymore. Like if you can go watch your Netflix and
and then if the baby wakes up and like starts making noise, it detects that and starts shaking again, and then turns
gently
up the white. Gently shaking the baby, and then starts to turn up the white noise, and it's like, you will not wake up, baby. You will go back to sleep.
Yeah. I hate it.
You hate it?
But I like the car one, so I don't know. But both of them, this design, I'm sure if it, has gone through the Consumer, Products Commission or whatever, it looks like it's pretty easy to tip over, doesn't it? It's like with just those little wire legs, it looked like you could just do it.
I don't know if it's any easier to tip over than a normal, but because we had a bassinet that was on wheels, so it was, those legs are pretty thin, but I don't know.
That one looks more sturdy. The Ford one looks more sturdy. And I would expect that from Ford. Like, it's very difficult to tip over a car, so I'd assume it would be even more difficult to tip this over. But
one would hope. One would really hope if you're laying your baby in there. I don't know. It's kind of cool, I guess. I just... I don't know. We can do these things too. But hey, we're out. We can't actually talk about this anymore because we're out of the woods.
We can judge all we want.
We went through individually. We went through
shook our own baby.
Yes, exactly.
Gently. Only gently.
Gently to sleep.